Why is the name of Dell? Kindly may I know who is the name of Dell? சொல்லுங்க மேம். அது சொல்லியாச்சு மேம். நீங்க, நானு, ஷபினா மேம். Shall we start, ma'am? Ma'am?
Ma'am, can start, ma'am.
Okay. Students, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Go ahead, ma'am.
A beautiful evening begins with a beautiful mindset. Good evening to one and all. It gives me an immense pleasure to extend you a very warm welcome on behalf of Institute Innovation Council, management and staff members of Prince Sri Venkateswara Arts and Science College, who has clubbed all of us for the webinar on mushroom formation startup. Praising God and giving thanks. Prayer is the most powerful tool mankind has. So before we start with any good thing, let us first pray good God to attain some strength and inner peace. Let us start the session with Tamil Thai Vartu to embark the beginning of the special day. Now, I would like to request Hindu to sing Tamil Thai Vartu.
Tamil Thai Vartu. நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்த கிழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிது தெக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போலனை துளவும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியைந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே நன்றி.
Thank you, Indu. Now I would like to welcome Manohari to deliver the welcome address.
Here is a healthy welcome, big and warm enough to encompass you all. Good evening to one and all present here. It is an immense pleasure in welcoming to all to the webinar about mushroom farming startup. I am Manohari on behalf of management of Prince Sri Venkateswara College of Arts and Science. I extend my warm welcome to our resource person, Dr. Pungodai, who will be sharing her knowledge on mushroom farming startup. I am damn sure after this session, everyone will get much awareness about innovation in everything. Then the use of such things will be very common in the future. We heartily welcome you, ma'am. A dream does not come to reality through magic. As it takes sweat, determination, and hard work, it is a belief endorsed by our chairman, Sir Dr. K. Vasudevan, our source of inspiration and motivation. We welcome you, sir. It extends our warm welcome to young, energetic, and dynamic Vice Chairman, Sir Engineer V. Prasanna Venkatesh, Prince Group of Institution, who have been supporting us in many ways unimaginable, not only helping us with ideas, but also execute of those ideas and give us necessary moral support. I welcome our every charming person, Principal Madam, Dr. M. Uma Bhaskar. We consider ourselves quite fortunate to have been growing up intellectually under the guidance of our Principal Madam, who constantly helping us pushing our limits. We kindly welcome you, ma'am. And also I welcome our staff members and my dear friends. I hope this session will be medium to provide new platform to young talents. We will able to bring new innovation in the field of science. This will be reduce the day-to-day challenge faced by the people of the country and make their life easier. Besides, your innovation will also serve the country. I wish you all fruitful succession.
Thank you, Manohari, for delivering the welcome address. Now, we cordially welcome Lavanya Devi ma'am to share a few words about this session.
So good evening, one and all present here. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are.
Yes, ma'am. So good evening, one and all present here. And it gives me an immense pleasure on this fine evening to invite you all to this webinar. And on behalf of the Department of Microbiology, the IIC Council and Eco Club, I extend my warm welcome as well as thanks to first Dr. K. Vasudevan, Chairman, the Prince Group of Institutions, and Dr. V. Vishnu Karthik, Vice Chairman of the Prince Group of Engineering Institutions, and Engineer V. Prasna Venkatesh, Vice Chairman of PSVAC, and Dr. M. Uma Bhaskar, Principal of PSVAC, and our resource person here, Dr. K. Pungode Ma'am, Head Department of Microbiology, PSVAC, and all the members of IIC, our department member, Dr. K. Sabina, and the coordinator of the Eco Club, Dr. S. Gayatri Devi Ma'am, as well as the other staff members of our Department of Microbiology, as well as other departments, and finally our lovable students. And today we have gathered here to have a webinar on the startup of mushroom farming. So mushrooms, we know they are the important for different aspects such as health, food, and cultivation. As we are concentrating here on its cultivation, it is a good source of income for small scale industries. And at home level, women can use this farming to develop as a home industry. It provides self-employment and reduces unemployment. With this bit of knowledge and information, we are here forward to gain more knowledge from this session from our beloved madam. And finally, I convey my heartful thanks to Dr. K. Pungode ma'am and Dr. S. Gayatri Devi ma'am for giving me this opportunity to share few words on this day. And I conclude my speech by saying a quote from Tirukkural, "Ulluvadellam uyarvullal matrathu tallinum tallamai neerthu." Keep your thoughts always higher and try to achieve them. Even though they couldn't be achieved, do not lose hope. Hoping for the best to have a best seminar, a webinar on this day from our resource person, Dr. Pungode ma'am. I welcome you, ma'am, and thank you one and all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was an amazing speech from you. Now, I will call upon Dr. K. Sabina, IIC coordinator, to give an introduction about IIC.
Yeah, ma'am.
Good evening to one and all present here. Today we are all gathered here on this fine evening for a knowledge sharing session on mushroom cultivation, which will be delivered by our respected HOD Madam, Dr. K. Pungode. And my role is to give an introduction about Institutions Innovation Council. Institutions Innovation Council has been established in the year 2018 by Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell in collaboration with AICTE to develop the culture of innovation and startup ecosystem in higher education institutions. IIC of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College was established during the IIC calendar year 2020-21, and since then we have been conducting various innovation and entrepreneurship related activities to nurture our students with new ideas and transform them into innovators and entrepreneurs. IIC is a faculty expert students council which takes up multiple activities to promote innovation and entrepreneurship around the year. IIC of our college organizes workshops and seminars related to innovation, IPR, entrepreneurship, and startup. It also creates avenues for students to interact with successful entrepreneurs, investors, and professionals to inspire young minds. By this, they get exposure and opportunities for their entrepreneurial ideas. The motto of IIC is to make students job creators rather than job seekers. And theme of IIC of Prince Sri Venkateshwara Arts and Science College is Imagine, Innovate, and Invent. On behalf of IIC of our college, I wish this webinar session is going to be a grand success and looking forward for a really interactive session. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your cheerful address about IIC. Now I would gladly welcome Dr. S. Gayatri Devi ma'am, Eco Club coordinator, to give an introduction.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session about mushroom farming startup. And it's my great pleasure to share a few words about the Eco Club. And Eco Club seeks to promote environmental awareness to the grassroots level by creating the nurturing green consciousness among the students and understanding the central role of youth in saving the environment. Eco Club encourages them to be the ambassadors of spreading the message of adapting an eco-friendly lifestyle in the society. So our Eco Club was inaugurated on 11/1/2017 by our Vice Chairman Engineer V. Prasanna Venkatesh, our Principal Ma'am Dr. M. Uma Bhaskar, and Mr. Govindarajan, President Ex-Mural Greater Chennai. And it was organized by Dr. T. Arulmoli, who was our former HOD Ma'am, Department of Microbiology. And Eco Club offers programs and activities to encourage everyone to reduce pollution, plant trees, save water, and clean surroundings and more. And Eco Club in our college is a volunteer group which promotes the participation of the students, the teachers in learning, protecting their environment. And it is a platform to encourage our students to improve their knowledge about environment and to manage the crisis whenever it is arising and to create a clean, green and consciousness among students through various innovation methods. And our vision is to be the best institution for protecting and creating awareness by educating youth, offering programs and resources for the students. Our mission is to motivate students to keep their surroundings green and clean by understanding plantation of trees and to promote the culture of conservation of water by minimizing the use of water, to maintain the cleanliness in and around the campus, and to create a clean and green conscious among the students through various innovative methods. So major activities of Eco Clubs are Eco Club along with NSS volunteers of our college does its best effort for a green campus, and it organizes rallies, marches, human chains at public places with a view to spread environmental awareness. So actions based on activities like tree plantation, cleanliness drive, both within and outside the colleges are conducted, and the plantation program is undertaken at regular intervals through Eco Club and NSS in the college premises. And the environment is about people, places, and spaces, not just the physical environment. So we believe in the power of education in helping youth people to shape. So thank you, everyone. So hope the session would give more information about mushroom farming, which is going to be a good startup for you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was blissful. Now, I would welcome Padmasri S. for introducing our resource person.
Padmasri, unmute yourself.
Respected dignitaries, faculty, and my dear friends, good evening to all. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our resource person. We are honored this evening by the presence of our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. K. Pungode, MSc MPhil PhD, Ed and Assistant Professor of Department of Microbiology, Prince Sri Venkateswara Arts and Science College. She has an experience of 21 years. She has guided 4 years of MPhil projects and also 26 MSc projects. She has completed her schooling in St. Joseph Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Tirupur. She has completed her BSc in PSVR Krishnambal College for Women, Coimbatore. She has completed her PhD in Academy of Maritime Education and Training, Chennai, and also published 4 journals. So, without consuming time, I request our chief guest, Dr. K. Pungodai, to deliver a few words on mushroom farming startup. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening to one and all present here. First of all, I like to thank the chairman, vice chairman, principal, and my all colleagues, students, and especially Eco Club coordinator Dr. Gayatri Devi for providing me this opportunity to share my views on mushroom farming. And also, I also thank the students and my colleagues for sparing their valuable time in attending this webinar. To start up with, I'll straight away go with the webinar, mushroom farming. I'll just share my PPT. So you can ask, why mushroom farming and not other food grains? Malnutrition due to lack of adequate protein in daily diet of people is becoming a major health hazard in developing countries like India. So under these circumstances, mushroom is being a rich source of protein, and it can be a part and parcel of everyday food of paramount importance, and it is a good source of vegetarian food, providing sufficient quantities of various proteins, minerals, carbohydrates, and vitamins. If you take mushroom, it is an edible fungi, and it is the most prized commodity among vegetables, and not only because of its nutritive value, but also for its characteristic aroma and flavor. So in this webinar, I'm going to deal with the aspect slide, that is detailed information on the types and culture of different types of mushroom and different recipes and economy of its cultivation. I hope this webinar will be useful to our students as agricultural scientists, mushroom growers, nutritionists, biochemists, biological scientists, researchers, and also students of various colleges. And if you take mushroom, it is an edible fungi, as I've already said, and it is a member of plant kingdom, and it is known as fungi, and they do not possess any chlorophyll, and hence depends on organic decays and other living plants for their nutrition. They grow saprophytically as a weak parasite and symbiotically with other organisms. If you take fungi, it comes under the family of basidiomycetes. They have the ability to degrade cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, and in turn produces edible fruiting body. This edible fruiting body has appreciable flavor, texture, and high nutritive value. So mushroom have two main phases in their life cycle. One is vegetative phase, and it is presented by the mycelial growth, which is a thread-like structure. The other phase, or the second prominent phase, is constituted by the fruiting body of great diversity in form, size, and color. So some varieties of mushroom produce fruiting body even underground. So the mushroom fruiting body structure is shown here. It consists of different parts like cap, ring, cup, then even scales, gills, stem, and even mycelial threads.
Excuse me, ma'am.
What,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you put in slideshow mode, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Slideshow, ma'am.
F5 dane Gayatri, ma'am.
Full
For
screen, full
slideshow.
screen. Yes, ma'am.
F5.
1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Now, thank you.
So these are the different structures of fungi. That is the cap, gill, and cap is the expanded portion of the mushroom. Gill, or otherwise it is also called as lamellae, and it is situated inside the pilus. And the next part is veil, or otherwise it is also called as annulus. Then stipe of stalk, vulva, like that. There are different parts for the fruiting body of the fungi. And if you take the mushroom, there are different categories like edible mushroom, medicinal mushroom, poisonous mushrooms, and all. And in India, mushroom is cultivated in a very rewarding portion because it is abundantly available, and the season is very suitable for the cultivation of mushroom. And in India, if you take, there are 3 types of mushroom: Agaricus bisporus, then pleurotus species, and paddy straw mushroom. That is pleurotus species, we generally call it as oyster or dingiri mushroom, and Agaricus bisporus, we call it as white button mushroom. So these are the mushrooms which are edible. And if you take general history of mushroom, it was believed that it has been that is initially started in France. Then afterwards it has been spreaded to US, then UK, then comes India. Then in India, mostly it was mainly cultivated in North India, that is Himachal Pradesh, then Jammu, Kashmir, then comes Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. If you take edible mushrooms, they have high nutritive value. In general, we call edible mushroom as food of God, or otherwise it is also called as vegetable meat. That is why we call it as a vegetable meat, means that is protein-rich content comes from dishes like fish, meat, eggs, and milk. But unfortunately, in India, these things are not within the reach of common man. So, which is very cheap and best food, which is rich in protein, is mushroom. And nutritional level of fresh mushroom, so it contains only low calories food, and it contains no sugar or starch, but it provides a source of dietary fiber, and it consists of high amount of fiber, and it is rich in food helpful for slimming, as this food gives a feeling of fullness also. Fiber rich food also increases general health and fitness. So the high fiber content also helps in digestive problem such as constipation and all. And if you take the nutritional level of mushroom, it has got a lot of proteins, minerals, potassium, iron, vitamin, then niacin, a very big component compared to vegetable. Then it also consists of sodium, then very essential amino acids like lysine, methionine, tryptophan, threonine, valine, leucine, phenylalanine, and all. And apart from that, it also consists of vitamins like riboflavin, pantothenic acid, biotin, and it is very rich in folic acid, which is known as blood building vitamin, and it is useful in anemic condition and all. So edible mushroom composition, if you take, means it consists of little amount of moisture and protein, and apart from that it consists of protein in the form of essential amino acids. Then it consists of carbohydrate, but carbohydrate content is quite low, and fat also it consists of only 1.6 to 8%, and it is rich in vitamins and minerals. The next category of mushroom is poisonous mushroom. And poisonous mushroom, you cannot able to distinguish, but they generally say the mushroom which grows on trees, then in a rusty areas or in rotten eggs, and all are considered to be the poisonous mushroom. And if you take the poisonous mushrooms, they create lot of problems. Like that is how can able to distinguish poisonous mushroom from edible mushroom means they have brightly colored fruit bodies, and they will have greenish tints on gills and yellow green spores. They have pink colored spores also on gills. Then oozing of milky or colored latex. Usually we will avoid milky white mushroom and all, and they'll have an unpleasant odor. But generally the mushroom belonging to the species Amanita phalloides and Trichoderma muscarium is considered to be poisonous mushrooms. And if you take poisonous mushrooms, they create lot of abnormalities like cellular poisoning, then even nerve poisons, then gastric abnormalities. So they bring lot of abnormalities. Then the next type of mushroom. So these are some of the picturizations showing the poisonous mushrooms belonging to the species Amanita, Lebiota, Cartinarius bolaris, Lebiota, and Amanita muscaria. So Amanita species are generally considered to be poisonous mushrooms. So mushroom generally having ring on its stalk and having swollen stalk or cup or shuck like that on the stalk, and white capped mushrooms, and mushrooms having large projections, and fleshy mushrooms, little brown mushrooms, and all are considered to be poisonous mushroom, and they cause serious illness and sometimes even death. So safe consumption and properly identified species are needed for identifying the species to be edible or poisonous. And there are also some traditional methods, as I've told you, mushroom growing among rusty nails, rotten eggs, then poisonous fruit bearing trees, and even near serpentine holes and all are considered to be not edible mushrooms. And it is also not safe to believe that mushroom nibbled by slugs are edible, because slugs are fond of consuming some deadly poisonous mushrooms. And it is very important to find out whether how the mushrooms are poisonous. So some mushrooms are poisonous when eaten raw. Some mushrooms are poisonous if it is consumed with alcohol. Some mushrooms are poisonous if it is consumed in large quantity. Some mushrooms are poisonous if they are not thoroughly cooked. So, but generally, the mushrooms belonging to this species Amanita are considered to be highly poisonous, and it is unfit to eat. Some mushrooms are poisonous, that is poisonous to children, and some mushrooms are poisonous if a sick person eat it. Yeah, that too, if a sick person eat it in excessive amount, it becomes a poison. So it is believed that even mushroom will lose its toxicity if it is kept in water and vinegar for several days. But that is it is not proven. But they say if the mushroom is kept in water for some days, it will lose its toxicity. And as I've said, this edible mushrooms, if they are properly cooked, it never causes any poisonous effect and all. And poisoning disorders by mushroom is like cellular poisoning, nerve poisoning, then as I've told you, gastric poisoning, and poisoning effect of mushroom is more if it is consumed with alcohol. then even muscular poisoning. So what is the preliminary treatment if we were, suppose accidentally if we happen to consume mushrooms, poisonous mushrooms means first one is expulsion of the fungus. How to expel the fungus means that is they have to be made for vomiting. So if vomiting is not possible, you have to give a teaspoon of mustard oil in a half glass of water, and some drugs like formorphin, zinc sulfate and all can be given as medical direction. And apart from that, the stomach should be washed out by means of a stomach tube and all. Then other than that, elimination of toxin. So how to eliminate the toxin means that is the poison already absorbed in the blood should be eliminated immediately by injection of atropine and by other medical means. Some mushrooms, if you take, means they will affect the action of heart. So in that case, we have to go for medical inspection, that is calling for the doctors immediately. Then depression, sleepiness, leatheriness can also be treated by the use of initially by taking some strong tea or coffee. So like this preliminary treatment has to be undertaken. So as I've said, it causes many cellular poisoning, and the symptoms for cellular poisoning is that is mainly hepatic and renal failure. Then other than that, they'll cause abdominal pain, then kidney and liver failure. Then some symptoms is irregular pupils, stiffness of neck, then twitching of facial or also present prior to death. And nerve poisoning is very, very dangerous, but because it affects after 2 hours of eating poisonous mushroom, and constriction of pupil will occur, a fall in blood pressure will happen, and slow pulse rate, and finally it might also lead to coma and death. The gastric poison, that is symptoms are like general, that is food poison, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea and all. So these poisonous mushrooms has to be taken care. Then there are different categories of mushroom like oyster mushroom, straw mushroom, reishi mushroom, inakitek mushroom, civet mushroom, wood ear mushroom and all. In India, as I've already said, oyster, button and paddy straw mushrooms are cultivated, and it is a year-round cultivation which is suitable for climatic conditions also. If you take this reishi mushroom, it is a very costlier mushroom, and it is a mushroom which is called as immortality mushroom. And civet mushroom is also very costlier mushroom, and these two mushrooms are cultivated in China. And if you take the historical significance, as I've told you, there are different types of mushroom cultivated in China and all. And there are many research laboratories and research associations in Bangalore, Haryana and all on mushroom cultivation in order to standardize the factors and to develop the mushroom cultivation. So these are all some of the pictures showing some of the types of mushrooms of immortality. This is risky mushroom, which is cultivated in China. And if you go for medicinal use of mushroom, it is an effect on tumor. It helps in anti-aging, liver protection and detoxification, anti-cholesterol, effect on cardiovascular and anti-cancer, and it is also effect on hypertension. It is an antibiotic, and it is mainly useful for treatment of diabetes. So this is the picturization showing the civet mushroom, which belongs to the species Latinus idioides. And this is the mushroom which controls cerebral hemorrhage and also blood pressure level. So this is the oyster mushroom, which will be cultivating very often, and it belongs to the species Blurotus. Why go for mushroom? It is having a good taste, and within a limited area we can cultivate, and we never need any separate lands for cultivation, and it has got high medicinal appeal and less investment, self-employment. It gives job to many people, like 21,000 people and all are employed in mushroom farming, and less time, labor, utilization of agricultural waste itself it can able to grow. So very cheap to cultivate, high nutritional value as we have already seen. It is rich in protein, vitamins, minerals, niacin, potassium, iron, phosphorus, copper, which is helpful for teeth and bones improvement, then suitable for small and landless farmers, and it has got high market demand, and it is suitable for women. They can do it as a small scale business also, and it is a probiotic in nature. And even spent mushroom substrate can be used for vermicomposting, and water productivity can be scaled up. Mushroom don't compete with other crops for planting space and all. Much of Asia's climate suitable for mushroom cultivation, and it plays a very significant role in forest economy, and it decomposes dead plants, animals, etc. And mushroom, if you take, means it has got high food value, protein, fiber, vitamin D, copper, and selenium. It contains selenium, which is acting as an antioxidant that helps to neutralize free radicals and thus preventing cell damage and reducing the risk of cancer. Potassium, if you take, means it's an important mineral that regulates blood, and other important minerals such as phosphorus, zinc, magnesium and all are present in mushroom. And above all, it is having low level of fats and low calories, and it consists of sodium and no cholesterol. So if you take mushroom, there are nearly about 75,000 identified types of mushroom worldwide. 2,000 of these are safely edible, and around 1,000 are poisonous, and commercially 20 species are grown worldwide, and in India only 4 species are grown worldwide, and in Odisha mostly 2 species are commercially cultivated. So just commercially cultivated mushroom, that is world production percentage share. So mushroom species with their scientific name and the growing season. So as in India, we are cultivating paddy straw, oyster, button mushroom. Paddy straw mushroom, scientific name is Polverella species. Oyster, blue rotor species. Button mushroom, agaricus species. And it is seasonal, but in India it is cultivated in year round. So in all the seasons, different types of mushrooms are cultivated. So commercially cultivated mushrooms in India. So going for cultivation of different types of mushroom, it consists of different steps like composting, then spawning, spawn running, then cropping, harvesting, then after harvesting, how to storage, then dehydrated, canning, then going for marketing, finally marketing. So first very important part of cultivation of any type of mushroom, if you take, means composting. Composting, what do you mean by compost means? It is nothing but the action of microorganisms on the substrate to convert it into a compost. And during composting process, what is actually happening means the organic materials are degraded, and even the formation of proteins in the mushrooms takes place. And next comes spawning. And before that, factors affecting mushroom cultivation, that is very important, is temperature, relative humidity, then even moisture content, ventilation, good spawn is required and good substrate is also required for cultivating mushroom. And above all, mushroom farm location is also very important. Next comes spawn preparation. What do you mean by spawn? Means it is relating to planting material which consists of mycelium of mushroom and its substrate. Spawn is prepared on a sterilized substrate like compost. Even wheat grains, we can wash it twice with fresh water, and care should be taken while we are boiling it. And then we can also add 2% gypsum and finally prepare the spawn. And the spawn prepared from culture can be used for multiplying spawn also. That is, 1 bottle spawn culture is good enough to prepare 20 to 25 bottles of spawn. So composting is the first step. Even the supplements can be used in compost preparation. The next step is spawning, and third step, spawn, as I said, the spawning means introducing or inoculating spawn in suitable substrate. They provide further growth of mushroom mycelium in substrate, and the spawn is used for spawning. The spawn which we use it for spawning should be free from all contamination. So that is the main thing which we have to look into. Then next one is spawn running. Spawn running, if you take, means it is the process in which mycelium from grain spawn starts spreading through the compost. So if you take the spawn running, white gray mycelium covers the entire compost. The next step is casing. Casing is nothing but placing a thin layer of soil or soil-like material on the top of the compost. So after complete spreading of mushroom mycelium in the compost, we have to place a thin layer of soil. So this process is known as casing. And what is the benefits of casing means? It will induce fruiting, and it will also retain moisture. It also prevents drying of spawn compost. Then other than that, pasteurization of casing material is very, very important. We can also go for chemical pasteurization. And the next step comes watering. So the casing material should always be moist. Then next step is cropping and harvesting. So the cropping and harvesting, mushroom mycelium in its vegetative stage, it will continue to grow even after spawning and casing. So usually it will take 10 to 12 weeks for the spawn to covers with casing material. Then after casing only comes the pinning. Pinning material. What is pinning means? That is short pin heads will start develop from the stalk. At the time of pinhead appearance, the temperature and relative humidity should be balanced. It should be within 14 to 16 degrees Celsius and 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. So to meet the oxygen demand and all, we have to reduce the carbon dioxide concentration also. So these are the things which you have to take into when we are doing cropping and harvesting. So the fruitification starts with the appearance of large number of pinheads, which will develop in fruit bodies, and there will be only few number of pinheads develop in the form of fruit, and some of them will not, after they'll get abrupted. The harvesting can be done by direct cutting the mushroom or with sharp knife if there are many pinheads may not be disturbing. So it is a direct method of picking up the fruiting body or the mushrooms. So same is followed for different types of mushrooms. But the menu and all will be different. As green gram, black gram and all can be used as a compost. So soaking tanks also we can use. Oyster mushroom can be done with simple materials like polythene bags. And production system, if you take, means there are outdoor system and indoor. So outdoor system, intercrop in coconut plantation they have done. So indoor low cost, which they have done it in a thatched house and all. So indoor in asbestos room, but the cultivation step is composting, then spawn preparation, spawning we call it as spawn running, third step, fourth one is watering, casing, harvesting, carping, harvesting, then storage, dehydration, canning, marketing. So indoor in agro shade net, they have done the mushroom cultivation. So generally, we'll cut the paddy straw, drain excess water, dry the paddy straw in shade, then spread the paddy straw. Then we can cover it bed with polythene sheet for 6 days. Then from day 7 onwards, if you keep on sprinkling water, then fruiting starts from 12th day onwards. So same as the process for oyster mushroom. Oyster mushroom is highly costly and it has got highest number of species. Shelf life is 24 to 48 hours and it has got a bioefficiency of 100%. Very easy to cultivate, less insect pest and disease attack, and more profitable. So oyster mushroom species, there are different species. Pleurotus sajur, Pleurotus florida, Pleurotus sapidus, Pleurotus austriatus, Pleurotus eos, Pleurotus membranaceus, and Citrinophyllatus, fabellatus, and mainly we use only Pleurotus kaju or sajar. So different species, their morphology and structural aspects. So as I've told you already, the factors that affects the growth of mushroom is temperature, 20 degree to 30 degree, relative humidity, 70% to 80%. Ventilation is very much essential and pH 7. So we can also, as I've told you, spawn preparation, we can do it in a bottle and we can make it into different bottles, different number of bottles. Then paddy straw, nutrient, formalin is used for sterilization. All these are the requirements for the cultivation of oyster mushroom. So food value they've given. Oyster mushroom is rich in water, energy, protein, lipid, ash, then carbohydrate, fiber, sugar. So methods of cultivation. So this is a picturization, cutting of straw, soaking. Hot water treatment is one method of sterilization. Then draining of water. Then afterwards, bed preparation, layering of spawn. Then pinning of bag. Pinning of bag is just making a hole in a polythene bag. Then spawn running. Hello. Why, ma'am?
Ma'am? Ma'am? Hello.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am. Sir is calling. So these are the method of cultivation. Usually we follow in this lab a hanging of bed. So this is the method of Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
So method of cultivation, matured mushroom. These are the steps: harvesting and packing of mushroom. Mushrooms diseases, mainly they are affected by fungi. So there are different types of diseases caused by fungi, which we call it as dry bubble disease, wet bubble disease, and cow web disease. And if you take dry bubble disease, it is caused by Verticillium fungicola, and wet bubble disease, it is caused by Mycobone perniciosa. So all these are the type of fungi, and cow web disease is caused by Dactylium tendroids. And apart from that, not only fungi affects the mushroom, even bacteria. Bacteria causes diseases like bacterial fit, blotch, and other than bacteria, even viruses causes diseases to mushroom. And above all, the insects and nematodes also causes diseases. Many types of insects. Insects are getting attracted to the compost and mushroom beds, and they affect the mushrooms. And after the infection by insects, infestation by the insects, we suffer from odor problems. So economics of mushroom, if you take means, that is average yield per bed is 1.5 kg for oyster, and for paddy straw it is 1 kg. So selling price is 80 rupees. So profit for per bed is 40 rupees. And the same is the profit, that is 10 rupees difference for oyster mushroom, 30 rupees. So this and all are the economics of mushroom. And many dishes are made from mushroom, like soups, sauces, vegetables, then mushroom biryani, pakodas, like that. So mushroom can be grown for a variety of uses. Mushrooms are very easy to produce, and you need only minimal maintenance. This is one of the advantage of mushroom farming, and no requirement of land, high nutritive value, optimum pH level, and crop management and all is very easy. And its benefits of mushroom has got a lot. It reduces vulnerability to poverty and strengthens livelihoods. Mushroom cultivation is the most productive and profitable business in India. So it is a significant agro business in the world. So with that, I conclude my session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the inspiring speech you gave us. Everyone present at this occasion was not only in wonder of your knowledge, but also greatly impressed by your presenting style. It was a great pleasure to listen to your wise words and learn so much from it. I take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of our entire administration and students who have benefited by your presentation. Now the session is open for the discussion.
Ma'am, already we are running short of time, ma'am. Shall we conclude, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay, ma'am.
National anthem. Shall we go for national anthem?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Quickly go for national anthem. Kindly after national anthem, please wait. We'll have a photo session.
National anthem. जनगण मन हरिदायक जय हि भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्रविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जल शिशरंगा तब शुभ नामी जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे दाही दब शय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय ही भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. Thank you.
Kindly everyone switch on your videos fast. Please, we are running out of time. Make it fast.
Ma'am, program over, ma'am.
Over, ma'am.
End பண்ணிடலாமா?
Ma'am, ஒரே நிமிஷம் photo மட்டும் முடிச்சிட்டேன். Ma'am, Gayatri ma'am, is the photo over, ma'am? Ma'am?
மேம் நீங்க ஸ்கிரீனை வந்து ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங்கை வந்து கட் பண்ணுங்க மேம். ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் போட்டோ எடுக்க முடியல. ஸ்கிரீன் உங்க ஸ்கிரீனை வந்து ஷேர் பண்றத கட் பண்ணுங்க மேம். Shabina ma'am, if it is possible for you to kindly take her ma'am.
From phone I have taken, ma'am.
Okay. From here I'm not able to because the screen is there, the photos are not visible.
Okay, ma'am, no problem. We can conclude, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, screen sharing stop பண்ணுங்க ma'am.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. I have taken some.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have stopped.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Now, fine.
Hi, ma'am.
Fine. Now, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. It's okay. Fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Shall we end the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We can.